we're back here talking about the protocol again. This was a deal that was apparently designed to keep the institutions behind me, the Good Friday Agreement, safe, and it's now becoming very apparent it's nothing to do with that. It is about saving the integrity of the single market. It's all about money, and Europe is protecting its own needs. But in doing so, there was a subcommittee in the House of Lords, and they discussed with the drugs companies exactly what their problems were. And the main problem is there's no surety, no legislation being put in place. We're caught, although we're UK citizens, we are being caught between two bodies in medicine. One the European side of things and one the British side of things, and it's causing real problems in and around drugs that are copies, if you like. I'm sure if we all go to Tesco's and we go to the top shelf in the pharmaceutical aisle, there's paracetamol maybe, and it's £2 a packet, but at the bottom shelf there is Tesco's brands or Sainsbury's brands there's possibly 30 pence a packet, and that's where the problem is coming here. These drugs now have to be domestically licensed to come into Northern Ireland. Before, they had a domestic licence for all of Britain, and the licence for these, each individual one, is a lot of money, and so therefore it is not economically sound to continue to bring these drugs into Northern Ireland. In fact, many drugs companies have said that they've already started to pull some of those from the shelves, and from more worryingly, I suppose, is prescriptions inside Northern Ireland, and they're to do with things like blood thinners, depression, diabetes, epilepsy, and they will cause real problems because the price of prescriptions will go up. Now, I caught up with a couple of the politicians yesterday who are involved in the whole talks process. The border in the Irish Sea continues to cause problems for Northern Ireland. This time, it's health that's under the microscope.
Well, I think it is a very serious matter that we don't have the same level of access to drug treatments as we did, and there is one reason for that, and that is the Northern Ireland Protocol. I think it is wrong that the EU imposed these restrictions in a way that is limiting access to health care for citizens in Northern Ireland. There is absolutely no threat to the EU single market of drug treatments coming into Northern Ireland for personal use by people in Northern Ireland. And I think we really need to see an urgent end to this nonsense.
Drugs companies with domestic licences will face high costs to bring non-branded goods into Northern Ireland.
The protocol decrees that the other part of this United Kingdom, GB, is a third country, a foreign country. And whereas up to now we've been part of the same regulated medicine market and able to avail of the same cheaper medicines than are available elsewhere in Europe, now, because we're part of the EU single market, we're subject to all the restraints and all the impositions and all the costs of the EU medicine market.
Prescription drugs that are used for heart problems alongside depression, epilepsy and diabetes are all under threat after the standstill period ends.
Well, what we do know is that there are vital drug treatments right now that aren't getting through because of the protocol. Therefore, that is something I want to discuss with the Minister of Health. I want to identify where the difficulties are. I'm going to go back to the government and I want to know what action is going to be taken, because the government does have the power to take unilateral action where this kind of situation exists, and I expect them to do that.
This all puts added financial pressure onto an already stretched NHS.
Well, it will mean it is no longer a national health service with all similar drugs and medicines available across the UK. There will be a second-rate health service in Northern Ireland, whereby some medicines available in GB are not available here, or if they are at exorbitant prices. And, on our supermarket shelves, we can all buy relatively cheap branded versions of various medicines. That will cease because those companies will find it impossible and prohibitive to even import those to Northern Ireland. So the loser in all of this will be the patient and the customer in Northern Ireland.
Well, you can see from that report that there is frustration growing here. There has been frustration growing in the streets as well earlier on in the week. There's some trouble, low-level trouble, it must be said, inside unionist areas, but that's starting to grow and the murmurs are starting to get there, which is unstabilising what is behind me. The price of drugs in Northern Ireland are definitely going to go up. They're going to align with the EU, if nothing else, and that is going to cause problems on our national health. I also have to say that I asked the Minister for Health, Robin Swan, to appear and give us his thoughts on the whole process, but he declined, as did Stephen Farry from the Alliance Party, who wants to see the rigorous implementation of the protocol.